Welcome to Fluent by Story. In this video you'll hear the inspiring story of how I learned English fluently in just 6 months. It's told in simple English, full of real vocabulary and natural expressions to help you speak better, listen longer, and grow faster. Ready? Let's begin the journey. When I first decided to learn English in 6 months, I didn't know what I was getting into. I had always dreamed of speaking English fluently, being able to understand movies, talk with people from other countries, travel without fear, and even work in a global environment, but I was starting from almost nothing. I knew a few words like, hello, how are you, and thank you. But I could not hold a conversation, understand fast speech, or write clearly. My grammar was weak, my vocabulary was tiny, and my confidence was even smaller. But I had one thing, a strong desire to succeed. I promised myself that I would give it everything. I had no fancy tools, no expensive classes, just a smartphone, free internet, some YouTube videos, and one goal: be fluent in 6 months. So, I created a plan, and what I'm going to share is exactly what I did every single day, how I thought, what worked, what failed, and how I overcame every challenge. This is not just a story. It's a guide for every learner who wants to speak English fluently, naturally, and confidently. In the beginning, I focused on input, listening and reading. I had read about the power of comprehensible input and how our brain naturally acquires language when it hears it in context. I started by listening to children's stories in English with subtitles. Every morning I would wake up, brush my teeth, make some tea, and put on a simple English story from YouTube. At first I understood maybe 10%. I felt confused and frustrated. But I didn't stop. I listened again and again. Then I added a step. I shadowed. I would repeat every sentence after the speaker, trying to copy their pronunciation, rhythm, and emotion. It felt strange. My tongue stumbled. My voice sounded weird. But after a week, I noticed something. I was improving. I could say sentences faster. My mouth was adjusting to English sounds. This motivated me to continue. I chose 5 simple stories and listened to them every day for 2 weeks. I repeated every word. I wrote down key vocabulary in a small notebook. I used each word in my own sentence. For example, if I learned the word forest, I would write, I want to walk in the forest. The forest is green and quiet, and there are animals in the forest. Writing and speaking with the new word helped me remember it. I didn't try to learn 100 words a day. I focused on 5 to 10 useful words and used them in different ways. This method was slow but powerful. It made the words stick in my brain. After 2 weeks, I added reading. I found a free website with graded readers. Books written for English learners at different levels. I started with level 1. The sentences were short and simple. I read one story every day. I highlighted new words, guessed their meaning, then checked with a dictionary. But I didn't stop there. I read the story aloud. I recorded my voice. I listened to the recording and compared it with the original. This was hard. I heard all my mistakes. But that's how I improved. I didn't cry or quit. I just tried again. Slowly, my pronunciation got better, my confidence grew, and I felt proud. speaking was still my biggest fear. I didn't want people to laugh at me. But I knew that if I wanted to speak fluently, I had to speak a lot. So I talked to myself. Every day I described my day in English. I am eating breakfast. I am going to the market. The sun is hot today. I spoke while cooking, cleaning, or walking. My family thought I was a little crazy, but I didn't care. I was training my brain. After 1 month, I joined an English conversation group online. It was free. The first time, my heart was beating so fast, my hands were sweating, and I almost left the call. But I stayed. I said, "Hello. My name is. I'm learning English." That was enough. The people were kind. They encouraged me. I listened more than I spoke, but I learned a lot. I heard real people speaking English in different accents. I asked questions. I made mistakes. I laughed at myself. And I kept coming back. After a few weeks, I was speaking more. I could introduce myself, talk about my hobbies, and ask simple questions. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And real practice is the best practice. I also used TTS, text-to-speech, apps. I would type a paragraph and listen to it in natural English. Then I would shadow it. I used my favorite fairy tales, stories, or motivational scripts. I paused after each sentence, repeated it, then played the next. I did this for 30 minutes every day. This trained my listening, pronunciation, and rhythm. I also changed my phone apps and social media to English. I followed English learning pages. I commented in English. I sent voice messages in English. My whole world slowly became English. I created an immersion environment at home, even though I never traveled abroad. That's the secret. You don't need to live in an English-speaking country to speak fluently. You need to bring English into your life. After 2 months, I started writing. I wrote 1 paragraph daily. Sometimes about my day, sometimes about my goals, sometimes about my feelings. I used simple grammar, short sentences, and common words. I didn't care about mistakes. I just wrote. Later, I checked my writing with grammar tools or native speakers in online forums. I learned from corrections. Writing helped me organize my thoughts. It gave me confidence to speak. What you can write, you can speak. That's what I learned. By the 3rd month, something amazing happened. I watched a full English movie without subtitles, and I understood 70%. I was shocked. I laughed at the jokes. I followed the story. I realized my brain had changed. English was no longer a foreign language. It was becoming my second language. I started dreaming in English. I started thinking in English. And I loved it. I felt powerful. I felt free. In the 4th month, I took things even further. I joined an online challenge called Speak English for 30 Days. The rule was simple. Speak English every day and post a short video online. At first I was nervous. What if people judged me? But I reminded myself, progress not perfection. I recorded my first video. Hello, my name is. This is my first English video. It was short and shaky, but it was my voice, my step forward. Every day I recorded a new video, even if it was just 1 minute long. I talked about my favorite food, my goals, my dreams. I got feedback. Some people corrected my grammar, others encouraged me. Slowly, I became more confident on camera. I learned to express my thoughts clearly and naturally. The challenge made me speak without fear. It also helped me make new friends around the world. We motivated each other, shared tips, and grew together. Community matters in language learning. In the 5th month, I focused on expanding my vocabulary and improving my listening comprehension. I started listening to English audiobooks and TED Talks. At first, I didn't understand everything, but I didn't give up. I paused, rewound, repeated. I wrote down useful phrases like, "It's worth it," "Take responsibility," "Step by step," and used them in my own sentences. I practiced speaking with emotion, using my body, hands, and facial expressions. I wanted to sound alive, not robotic. I practiced intonation, stress, and fluency. I also reviewed common phrasal verbs, idioms, and connectors. I learned how to sound natural by using expressions like, you know, I mean, actually, and by the way. These little words made a big difference. By the 6th month, I felt like a different person. I could understand 90% of movies and podcasts. I could hold deep conversations, express my feelings, and even joke in English. I had written over 50 diary entries, recorded more than 30 speaking videos, and read over 10 English books. I no longer feared making mistakes. I embraced them. I had built a habit, a routine, a mindset. And that mindset was powerful. It told me, you can learn anything if you do it every day with focus and heart. I had learned English in 6 months, not because I was a genius, but because I was consistent. I showed up every day. I practiced every skill, listening, speaking, reading, writing. I didn't wait for motivation. I created it. I didn't chase perfection. I chased progress. I surrounded myself with English and let it become part of me. And you can do it too. If you want to speak English fluently, don't give up. Don't compare yourself. Just start. Start with one word, one sentence, one step, and keep going. 6 months from now, you'll thank yourself for not quitting. Because fluency is not a dream, it's a decision. And you can make that decision today. Thanks for listening to this powerful English fluency story. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Fluent by Story for more motivational English content every week. Keep practicing, keep believing, and keep speaking. Your fluency journey starts today.